Today I wanted to do something a little different. I want to talk about some of my favorite tools for keeping your Greek. Now, when I say keeping Greek, what I mean is if you've already studied Greek and you're wondering how do I keep from losing it, how do I keep growing in Greek, then how do I do that? So I want to talk about a few of those elements here. Now, you need something like BDAG. If you know what this is, then this is the standard lexicon for New Testament literature. You need something like this to be able to do exegesis. You need a good lexicon. But you also need something that's going to keep Greek in front of you all the time. One of the problems is you're overwhelmed by it. So one of the keys to learning Greek is just don't put it down. Keep it in front of you all the time. So one of my favorite tools, and what I recommend to students after they learn Greek, now you need to learn Greek first, but after you've gone through the course to learn it, then get a Diglot. A Diglot is going to have Greek text on one page and the English on the other page. And this is the one that I use basically every day. This is a Nestle Aland 27 edition along with the Revised Standard Version on the other page. And what you can see here is every time you open the Bible, you have the English text in front of you and the Greek text. This means you can read as much of either as you would like. If you only want to read the English, you can read just the English. But if you are feeling motivated, you can look at the Greek. You can try to read all of the Greek, or just look at the English and check yourself with the Greek or whatever. So the issue is, are you keeping the Greek in front of you? I had a teacher who told me that if you read, this was Hebrew, but he said if you read Hebrew 15 minutes a day, you will never lose it. And so I'm encouraging you, if you've learned Greek, to find a way to keep it in front of you. Now, I love electronic resources, but they can become too much of a crutch to help you actually see the language. I think you need a hard copy. So I've got this Diglot here. I like this. I like the textual critical notes. There's actually got some English notes over here as well. This is the RSV, which is close to the ESV. But if you like the ESV has one as well. It's bigger, but it has the English and the Greek here. And you can see the difference in size here. Difference in size. But I like the Diglot because I can read as much Greek as I need to. Now, you've got also these Reader's Greek New Testaments that give you the running vocabulary at the bottom of the page. Those can also be helpful, but you're still going to run into problems in texts like 2 Peter and texts like maybe 2 Corinthians or Hebrews where you have all the words and still don't know what it says. The benefit of the Diglot is you've got a translation there to help you make sense of the Greek at any point. The other thing, here's another one. This is an English, this is NIV and Greek. Now, this is not an interlinear, and interlinears I don't think are helpful, which it gives you like the English with the Greek on top of it or vice versa. I don't use those. I don't recommend those. The other thing that notice, these are large chunks of Scripture. You need to read large chunks to keep it. If you read one of these resources that's like one verse a day, those can be really helpful. And so if those help you, then go for it. The problem with reading one verse a day is that you don't get enough to really get into the language and to really get it. You need to get into it. 15 minutes a day is a great goal. And the benefit of a Diglot is hopefully you're reading the Bible anyway if you're studying the Scriptures. Maybe you're in ministry. And so if you're reading the Bible anyway, keep it open in front of you in a hard copy. Electronic copy, use that for other resources, but I think you need to read in the language. Now, the other thing that you can do that I love, I got this back in college, Sake Kubo, Greek English Lexicon of the New Testament. When you're reading through a book, I like a reader's approach where this gives you the vocabulary for each book. At the beginning, it gives you special vocabulary for that book, and then it runs verse by verse to give you the vocabulary. This can help you read. This is like one of those Greek New Testaments that has at the bottom of the page the translation given, but with the benefit that it gives you special vocabulary up front, and it tells you how often a word is used in the New Testament, which can be really helpful. Another classic work is Bruce Metzger's lexical aids here. and you've got words organized by frequency. Let me go back here to this one. If you're using this, a great way to use it, let's say you're studying Romans. Go to the front of Romans and look at the special vocabulary for Romans and make physical cards with those vocabulary words on them. Then you can review those vocabulary, learn those vocabulary words, and you can read Romans much more efficiently. But not all of the special words would be at the beginning. It's also going to include words as you go through it. And so what you might want to do is highlight the word you don't know and make a card for those. Learning the broad scope of vocabulary up to about 15 to 20 times, maybe 10 times in the New Testament in terms of frequency, that's what you need to get you going. But once you've done that, then come to individual books and learn the specialized vocabulary for those books. One other source I've got here, this is the Greek New Testament with Dictionary from Crossway's Tindel House Greek New Testament. And this gives you their New Testament, only Greek, with their footnotes at the bottom of the page. But what it also has is a lexicon in the back, but also another, what do they call this? Surface form to lemma relation. That's a fancy way of saying any form you encounter in the New Testament, you can look it up in the back, and it will tell you where to find that word in the actual glossary or the small lexicon in the back there. So if you've learned Greek, that's great, and I want you to keep using it. And one of the best ways to do that is simply to keep it in front of you. This, again, is what I use on a daily basis, the Let's Say Along Greek New Testament with English. I like it a lot. I've used it for a long time now. I've got other resources for other things as well, but this is just for reading through the New Testament. So if you've learned Greek, I hope you keep it up, keep reading, keep it in front of you, and see how well you can learn it by reading over and over and over again. The more you learn and the more times you read a book of the New Testament, the easier it will be.